Hello, everyone. Welcome to the weekly show of Classroom Without Walls, episode 136. On this show, I interview leading social media, digital marketers, content creators to come here to share with us their best practices and strategies so that we can future-proof our business. And today I have my longtime friend, Rob Balasabas on the show. I think this is your second time on my show, or maybe even third. I don't even remember. And I connected with Rob quite a few years ago when Rob was still working at Thinkific in your past life. And I am just amazed by how humble this person is and how good he is at building communities, nurturing communities, and content creation, and bringing everybody together. So really honored to have Rob on the show. And today we are actually talking about YouTube and how to grow a YouTube channel in 2020 and beyond. So you are going to walk away from today's interview with a much better understanding of the specific benchmarks that you need to focus on if you want to grow your channel, and what are some common mistakes that YouTubers make and that we should avoid, and also how we can better leverage analytics to inform us in terms of keywords and views, this and that, so that we can grow our channel more strategically. And for those of you who don't know who is Rob, he is a brand evangelist at. Hey, do you have some swag to show on the screen, Rob?
We do. Here it is. Here we go.
So what is it? You want to?
Some TubeBuddy swag. There you go.
Yeah, and I can't wait to get my swag. I wish I had some. So really excited to have you on the show, Rob, and welcome to the show.
Yeah, thank you so much. We go way back. We used to hang out at conferences, and but not anymore right now. But yeah, no, thank you so much for having me back on the show. It's an honor always. Really excited to talk about this topic, which is growing a YouTube channel. So really excited to dig into that, and of course answer any questions from anyone that's joining us live today.
Totally. We already have a dozen people here. Thank you so much for joining us live, everyone. So bring your questions. And so I want to start, you are a brand evangelist for TubeBuddy. And many people I first discovered this term, brand evangelist, through Guy Kawasaki. I recently interviewed him on my show, a great honor. So tell us more about what you do as a brand evangelist. Such a fancy term.
That's right. Well, brand evangelist basically is you do lots of live streams and you drink lots of coffee. No, that's not it. That's not all. No, really. What I do is really connect with all of our users, all of the YouTube creators out there that are using TubeBuddy. Right now, I think we have over 4 million installs of TubeBuddy and on 4 million different YouTube channels. So we have an awesome community. We have a forum, community forum. We have our YouTube channel has almost 500,000 subscribers. So we get to connect with all of our our users in different ways. And also I with partners and influencers like yourself and really understand what you're working on and how we can maybe collaborate with you as a brand, support you in different ways. I do a lot of live stream interviews. I host a live show on the TubeBuddy channels as well called Creators Corner. And then behind the scenes, sort of working with strategy with the marketing team to better improve our affiliate programs and partnership programs and things like that. So that's sort of the different things that I could be doing any given time throughout the week.
Totally. I just love, you're so good at promoting what you do, talking about the brand without making people feel like, oh my God, here he is. It's like having a conversation with you, talking with us, chatting with us. Oh, so amazing. Yeah. So today we're actually talking about YouTube, one of your favorite topics. So one common question that I heard a lot, including myself, confession, I don't really treat my YouTube channel really seriously.
Right.
And by the way, we're actually live on YouTube. Nice. And so a common question is it too late to grow a YouTube channel in 2020? I ask this question because I feel like almost every single topic that you can talk about, there is actually a channel, right? A YouTube channel out there on this topic. So share with us, is it too late to grow a new channel?
Well, I mean, my personal experience is that it's not. I've had my YouTube channel personally, my personal one, for about 2 years now. I didn't really do anything for the first year and a half. So probably about 8 or 9 months ago, before I even joined the TubeBuddy team, started to, take YouTube a little bit more seriously. I was very much into LinkedIn. I still am. I still can create content for LinkedIn, but I was looking for a way to reach more people organically, and so to be discovered and found, and my content to help people that are searching for it. And so YouTube became the place that I started to focus on. And so my channel started to grow, started to create more content, very consistently, doing keyword research beforehand, and really trying to understand and be a student of the platform YouTube. And so my channel started to grow. Now, of course, there's creators that have been there longer, creators that have more content, more subscribers and things like that. But my tutorials on LinkedIn Live and live streaming, they're ranking. YouTube is a very fair place. YouTube's job is really to deliver the best video that the searcher or the viewer is looking for. It's a very simple thing. And so, if there's a video out there about LinkedIn video that was maybe created 2 years ago, that's getting a lot of views, and I create something around the same topic, but my video is a little bit more relevant. The interface, the dashboard, the UX is more up to date and current. Then, and the strategies that I'm talking about, LinkedIn events, for example, that wasn't around 2 years ago. So if I start talking about that, then my video about that LinkedIn events can start ranking, even though I have a smaller channel, and I can get discovered. YouTube also, if you, in the first week or so, week to 10 days, you'll notice that there's little badges on videos that are new that says new video. So they are intentionally trying to push out newer videos, regardless of how big or small your channel is, to the audience, to kind of see, trying to give it a little bit of an extra boost. So so I don't think it's too late. There's lots of new creators, in the job that I have to connect with, creators and influencers out there. There's lots of new creators that are very new to the scene, in the last year, 2 years, 6 months, that are just growing, right? So, and they're growing organically. No, they're not spending money on ads or anything like that. They're still growing, and they just started very recently. So definitely not too late to grow, to start on YouTube for sure.
Oh, I love that. That has given us lots of hope, right? of us. But I do agree with you. It is much easier, I feel like, to be discovered on like YouTube, because it's not as cluttered as other social media platforms. Facebook is just like way too cluttered. And even on LinkedIn, you have like video, you have text, you have infographic, you have documents. It's just like a lot. But I just love how much easier it is to actually identify the information that you need on YouTube. So that's great. So share with us, you mentioned that you have grown a lot. So last year, you had about like a few hundred, 100 or so followers or subscribers on YouTube. And fast forward to this year, now even a year, right? Like 8 months later, you now have 2.5 thousand subscribers on YouTube. So reflecting on your journey, what are some like key lessons, some best practices that you did that contributed to your fast growth on YouTube?
Yeah, no, I love this topic, and I like to share this. And again, it's not to brag. I have a very small channel compared to other channels out there. 2.5 is like a drop in the bucket for many channels in my niche, in my space, where I talk about live streaming and creating content, tutorials, software tutorials, that sort of thing. But I'm excited about it because, like I said, last year, about a year ago, I'm looking at my analytics right now on the screen, and I think I was somewhere around maybe 80 or 100 something, like very low hundreds subscribers. I was creating videos very inconsistently. So it might be like you, if you can identify with that. If you're like that, you're doing videos here and there. That's where I was, so I was creating a video this week, and then maybe another video in 2 weeks, another video in a month, from now. So very inconsistent. So the first thing that I did was be consistent. So really simple. One video a week. I told myself, let me try to do one video a week, one solid tutorial recorded video each week. And so I started doing that probably around November of last year, November 2019. And so that's when my growth started to happen, right? I was feeding the YouTube machine more content. And so there was more videos that YouTube could suggest. And then there's just more content out there to drive people back to my channel. Now, the second thing that I started to do, because the biggest mistake that I did when I first started was just guessing. So I was just guessing what people would want to hear or see from me as far as videos. So I would get comments. I would create some type of video on LinkedIn. Somebody would ask a question and I would be like, oh, that's a good video topic. Let me make a video on how to do that. And so I was essentially just guessing what the audience wanted, from like one person and just taking that guess. And so I started doing that for a while and I noticed that my videos weren't getting views. It wasn't getting new subscribers. It wasn't doing much. And so I started to really flip the switch and started to do the keyword research first to understand where the opportunities are on YouTube. Because again, YouTube is owned by Google. It's a search engine. So you have to treat it that way. That's the rules that you have to play by. So it's a search engine. So I started to search and I would search up LinkedIn Live, and then I would see suggested videos, so suggested topics. It would say LinkedIn Live tips, LinkedIn Live tutorials. And so I started making videos specifically for those really specific keywords and questions. And that's when my channel started to grow even more. It would get more views. There's one video that I created a year ago about, I think it's 30 different LinkedIn Live ideas. So and it's still getting lots of views, still getting lots of comments. And I think that was really the main thing that I wanted to get out of YouTube, was that long shelf life for the content that I create. So if I was to create a video today and put it on LinkedIn, this is nothing against LinkedIn, but any other social platforms, it might have like a 2-week shelf life. It might have maybe at the most for 2 weeks get views, but then after that, it probably will be buried so deep that nobody's going to be watching it anymore. Now on YouTube, I experienced that if you create a really good piece of content, really good tutorial that has lots of value, then it can last for a while. You can still get views, you can still get leads, people, opting into your emails, views and subscribers, even months after you upload it. So those are the two things. The third thing that I would suggest is what we're doing now, collaborations. So collaborations have been key. I would say since January or maybe December last year, I've been doing one interview collaboration on my channel with another expert every single week. And so that's really helped my channel grow a lot.
Wow, those are some really, really great tips. I'm taking notes. I love how you mentioned YouTube has longer shelf life, which is so true. And like some of my content that I created on LinkedIn last year is like, I feel like this year the organic reach of LinkedIn actually dropped. Last year was really high, but the content is like, already in the history. But like on YouTube, yeah, definitely. And even with my very small channel, when people watch the replay of my show, they prefer to actually go to YouTube compared to go to LinkedIn or go to Facebook. It's just way too much clutter. So they love going to YouTube where there is a list of videos. They can, you can create different playlists. People can actually watch. Yeah. And you are the king of collaboration. So that's amazing. Yeah.
It's an easy way to get organic views and sort of like a new audience in an organic way. Like you asked, we did this collaboration right now, and so we shared this event, this live stream on the TubeBuddy channel, on my personal channel. So now hopefully we're driving some new eyeballs to you, right? And so, it's a really good thing, a really good social thing. Also, I'm an extrovert and we're at home, so it's a good way to have some socializing happening.
Yeah, totally, I feel you. I'm 100% extrovert. So yeah, and you mentioned, before you were not very consistent, and you also mentioned, I want to ask you. You mentioned quite a few times how-to videos. So is that the type of video that you recommend people actually create if they are very intentional in terms of growing their channel? Is that the type of video that generally does really well on YouTube?
Yeah, in my opinion, yeah. YouTube is a search engine, so most people are searching for questions. I mean, there's of course entertainment type content, there's motivational type content as well. But my space is more the educational how-to tutorial space, and that's very natural for me, just to answer specific questions in each video. So the one thing that I would caution is if you are creating lots of tutorial videos, you want to make sure that you are also still focusing on building a community. Because if you just become basically like a human Google, they search something, you give them the answer, then you become sort of like this. There's no personality, there's no connection, right? So if you're doing lots of tutorial, that's your niche, tutorials on a specific software, for example. You want to think of ways to still build community. You may want to do a live stream where you're just answering questions, right? Maybe once a week or once every couple of weeks, you do a live stream where you're just connecting with your audience. They get to know you a little bit, so that is really important. So that's the only thing I would caution. But yeah, to your question, I would say tutorial videos are pretty, it's a pretty easy type of content to create. And it is a very searchable type of content because people are just looking for answers to their questions.
Totally. That's pretty much how I use YouTube and all the social media, like how to do something, especially on YouTube. Yeah. So you mentioned earlier that you were not being very consistent earlier. So now you are a lot more consistent. So how many videos do you produce on a weekly basis?
Yeah, I'm still, there was a bit of I guess during, I don't know, June, July, August, I had a bit more time and I was actually creating 2 videos uploaded, like 2 recorded videos, upload those, and then 1 live stream a week on my YouTube channel. Now I'm consistently at about 1 video a week uploaded and then 1 live stream every Friday. So that's sort of my regular rhythm for my channel.
Wow, that's pretty good. 2 pieces of content, original content a week. That's good. So here's a question from Peter, and he asked, what hardware and software do you actually use? That's also one of my questions, setup, equipment, and also share with us what you use to edit your videos.
Yeah. So for editing, I use Camtasia. I use Camtasia, I like Camtasia. And for before that, I was just using iMovie. So for probably like a year and a half, I was using iMovie. And so that's what I use for editing. As far as hardware, I use I have a Canon M50, which is a fairly sort of entry-level, mid-level camera. That's for recording videos, also live streaming. Right now, this is what I'm using. It's a Canon M50, so it's a DSLR. And then I have some lights. I have a couple of softbox lights here that I just picked up from Amazon. So that's really it. Oh, and the microphone. Just like I have a Blue Yeti. So there it is. And that's what I use for the audio. And I believe that's it. That's really sort of the main pieces there. So there's really audio, camera, and lights. Those are the 3 things that you have to kind of worry about. I'm in a den in our condo, so there's no natural light. But if you have natural light, then I'm jealous of you. I have just, that's why I have to be really creative with the lights, or else it can be really dark. Yeah.
I love the lighting. I love the setup. I love how you like the background. I'm actually jealous of you. That's really nice. You have your computer and the swag in the background. Very, very nice, especially for video purpose. Yeah. So Rob, share with us on, what are some common mistakes that you notice, especially you new tubers, they make when it comes to growing their channel?
Yeah, the main thing, again, these are all things that I've experienced. So, the main thing that I had to change, one big mistake when I first started was that I made my introductions too long. I took too long to get to the value of the video. So, I would spend sometimes like some of my older videos, if you watch it, it's still on the channel, just sort it by date and you'll see the older videos. And it would take me about like 2 to 3 minutes to get to the value. So if I was doing like a video on closed captioning tools, Quick and Rev and all. This is like one of the worst ones. It took me about 3 minutes to get talking about the thing, and because I was just talking about the introduction for like 3 minutes, that I live in Vancouver, that I have a family, and all these things. And people are still commenting like, oh man, you're wasting my time in the first 3 minutes, So the thing is now, if you watch one of my more recent videos, probably from like, I don't know, 6 months ago, I get basically like my introduction is maybe 30 seconds, maybe 20 seconds long. Hey guys, in this video, we're going to be talking about, there you go. I'm going to say like, hey guys, in this video, I'm going to teach you how to live stream on Facebook, on multiple Facebook pages. And then that's really it. Let's get going, So, and then I'll share my screen and we do the tutorial. So that's really the difference. Like a lot of YouTubers just really take too long in the introduction. Also, a lot of YouTubers kind of leave out the analytic, like the description and the whole SEO part of YouTube. They kind of neglect it. They don't really address it. They don't take the time to learn how that works. And that's a huge missed opportunity, because that's how YouTube knows what your video is about, so that they know who to share it with. YouTube has a ton of people looking for videos all the time. So you have to help YouTube understand what your video is, so then they know who to share it with or suggest it to. So be a student of YouTube, how thumbnails work, how the analytics work, how all those things work, watch time, click-through rate, all these things that sound like another language, but it's very important to understand, so that you know how to be successful on YouTube.
This part is so good. It's something that I ignore myself. I just upload I don't even upload any original video. I just restream, and oftentimes I'm too lazy to do anything in the description box. So I would love to unpack this a little bit. So I want to ask you, Rob, so if you were to upload a new video, can you please walk us through the process? Step 1, I check on this. Step two, I do keyword search, and then description, then tagging. So walk us through that process, how you actually upload the video, so we can take some notes and learn from an expert on this.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't know if I can share my screen now, because I'm gonna make this super easy for you guys. I actually have something here, which is my entire checklist here. So give me 1 second. I didn't realize you're gonna ask me this. This is an easy question. So let me share it with you.
I think what you think is easy is something that like other people are trying to really figure this out. And I know all the pieces here and there, but so here.
Yeah, let me share it. I don't know if you can see my screen there. It's my Trello board. I don't know if you can see it. Can you see
make it bigger? Yes, I can.
Okay, awesome. Let me make it a little bit bigger for you guys. I don't know if I can here, but I will try.
You're sharing your top secrets with. Oh yeah, that's better.
Yeah. So this is the template. So I use Trello. If you use Asana or Monday.com or any number of sort of like project management tools, you can do this. I'm happy to share this with you guys. I have a whole PDF. You can just have it. But basically, this is my template, my checklist for every video that goes on my channel. So maybe this is better if I start this way. So see, this is my whole workflow. So very simple. I go from left to right every single week. So I have my ideas here of videos that I want to create, right? Trello has a mobile app. So even if I'm on the road or on the go or with my family, I have an idea. I'm like, okay, let me add that to the Trello board. So here's my ideas. And then each Monday I look at the ideas and I take some of those and I say, okay, these are the videos I want to create in the next few days or the next couple weeks. And then here are the videos I'm editing. And then once it's edited, it's ready for upload, and then it's done, ready for promotion. So that's like very basic sort of my workflow. And then each video, I have a thing here, do not delete this card. This has basically my whole script that I just fill in. So I have my hook, my introduction. If I have a backstory to the video, then the value proposition, value 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then at the end, I have call to action, and then different copy for social media. So I have checklist here, what to do before the recording, after the recording, and then how I promote it after the video is published. So very nerdy, very like, but this is how or else I forget. There's so many things on YouTube that you need to just remember. And if you don't have a list, then, it's really hard to make sure you do everything consistently, every single video. And so I think that's a big key to success on YouTube, is just being consistent. And so, this is what helps me. So.
Wow, this is amazing. This is amazing. And people are already asking for the PDF. You mentioned, right? You have a landing page where we can join you.
Yeah, let me grab it here for you. Yeah, let me grab it for you. But yeah. So, I'm happy to share this with you guys. Here it is. I'll send it to Peter here. There you go.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, so definitely I would love to check. And I used to use the Trello. Now I use Asana, but basically the same thing. You can drag, document days, and just makes everything a lot easier. Yep. And so share with us, I think you mentioned in one interview I was watching, and you were talking about the importance of searching for keywords. I think most people, it's not just like for creating content on YouTube, but social media in general. And people think, oh, what do I want to talk about, right? What is something that I'm interested in? And even if we're talking about what our audience is interested in learning more about, we don't actually do the extra step to search for keyword. So right. Share with us, how do you go about it, right? What's your process of, what tools do you use? And right, prepping you up, and do you use to search that those important keywords so that we can rank high?
Yeah. Of course, I use TubeBuddy for that. So we have a tool that I'm inside every single day, which is the Keyword Explorer. And so it's a really straightforward tool. Since we are partnered with Google and YouTube, we have direct access to the data, to the API. So we're able to pull, the numbers and analytics for different keywords and phrases, trending topics, all those things. So that's what I use. I actually, again, going back to the mistakes, I do the keyword research first. And then I actually, if you guys go through the checklist, you'll notice that I come up with a title, I come up with the description, the tags that I'm going to use before I even film the video. So everything is already done. Then the last thing I do is actually create the video. So, because that's really, really important. Again, my channel is, because it is a tutorial how-to type channel, the majority, I think the majority of my views are from search. So there it is. So there we go. We have so if you go to Keyword Explorer there it is. Then that's a tool that I'm in every single day. So on the bottom half there, you'll see what's trending, and you can actually see what's trending based on countries. So right now it's United States. If you click the drop down there, then you'll be able to see other countries. And so I'm in Canada. So if I'm targeting Canadians for whatever reason, then I can see what's trending in Canada right now. If I'm targeting the UK because maybe I have a local business or something, then I'll try to see what's trending in the UK, right? So I am here every single day, and this really helps me understand what keywords have the most opportunity, that are not so competitive but still has decent search volume.
I love this, and I didn't even see the trending. I have been on this place for quite a few times, but I never even noticed the trending, and you can actually select the countries. So thank you for pointing that out. So let's do a quick example, right? So I'm in education, talk about education. I'm right now doing a keyword search on education. Mm-hmm. So do you mind explaining of course, I'm right now using the free one. Sure. And so this is some features you have to upgrade. Yeah. So what's the difference between a weighted and versus unweighted?
Yeah, it's a good question. So unweighted is really the score in general across YouTube for this keyword. So right now you'll see search volume is very high. It's green, but the competition is very poor, meaning it's really competitive, right? And that's pretty normal with a very short keyword like a one word like education. So this tells me that I need to look at a longer tail keyword. So meaning a longer keyword, like longer keyword phrase. So online education, for example, right? And so again, we have to think about like, what are the things that people are searching, right? So online education, what could that be? Right? It could be anything, it could be like, how do you build an online course? I want to look for an online course. So it has to be something more specific. Yeah, there you go. How does homeschool online? Yeah, that's great. That's a great keyword there.
Oh, much better.
So that you'll see that it's getting much better. Now the competition is in the yellow, it's not red anymore, but the search volume is quite low. It tells you to like the monthly search roughly it's about 450, which isn't that much. But if you have a smaller channel, like it could be something you want to start out with, right? And so that is one right there. So now you want to start looking at like, as if this is your space, how does homeschool online? Then you may want to get really like specific, right? So how to homeschool high school students online, how to homeschool, primary level students online, elementary students, so it really all like, you want to be really specific.
Wow.
So there you go. So you see, so there you go. So the score gets a little bit better. And then the weighted score, which is the other tab there. I know that we need to upgrade your account there. So it's all good. We'll hook you up. But yeah, the weighted score basically takes into account your specific YouTube channel. And so it tells you based on your YouTube channel, on your videos, on your analytics, on your content, how your channel will actually rank or actually score for this keyword, right? So if your channel is all about homeschooling, then you'll do better for this keyword versus me, because I don't talk about homeschooling, then I won't do as well as you. So that's what the weighted score tab does for you.
Yeah, many of my other videos are about online education, homeschooling, parenting, and so this is great, and it's so like fascinating to see how we are actually improving the score by being more specific, like trying to identify our niche. And so I hate to put you on the spot, Rob. So is there a way to make this even better? Right now we're pretty good, right? We're 54 out of 100. So what are some other additional ways that we can make this even better or even more specific?
Yeah. So, I mean, there's a fine line where if you get too specific, then there's nobody really searching for it, even though the score is good, right? So you have to really pay attention to the search volume. That's probably like, even though a score is good, but let's say the search volume is like very much in the very end of the red, meaning there's very low search volume. Yeah, then there's nobody really looking for it. 54 good, yellow, like the search is not that good, but the competition is actually not that bad either. It's more in the green, yellow, green. Then this is probably as much as I want to push for this keyword, right? If we get any less search volume, then yeah, we might rank, but nobody's really looking for that. It's too specific.
Yeah, and this also makes me, I think, as you mentioned earlier, this weighted section, people tend to talk about random videos, right? So when you're talking about random videos, and YouTube will be confused, right? Like it's even going to be harder for them to do this section, right? To calculate what are you actually talking about? You're talking about dieting, you're talking about education, you're talking about traveling. So that can be really confusing. So do you recommend that we actually stay in our lane to, especially as we're trying to grow the channel, right? To only focus on kind of one specific topic?
Yeah, exactly. Like you want to, like my advice is, this is just for me, is that if you find a really good keyword, then create like 3 or 4 or 5 videos around it, right? Like really approach it from every angle. So let's just say, for example, your space is, you want to talk about Facebook, right? Or Facebook videos, for example. Then talk about Facebook live streams, talk about the cameras you would use, talk about the different tools and software that you would use to go live. How would you get guests to be on your live stream? How do you repurpose your live stream? So just like really talk about every single angle around that core topic. And then that's how you start building what's called authority. And, as you build authority, as you've done this really well in your spaces, you build authority, and that really helps you on YouTube get views, get found in search and all those things. And beyond that, it helps you really open up a lot of opportunities for yourself. You know, people then see like, hey, I needed someone to speak on online education. Oh yeah, she's, you know, you become top of mind for those things. So so don't just create one video. If you find a really good keyword, look at the different things that you can talk about that topic.
Yeah, I love it. So I when I was searching for content on your YouTube channel, I noticed that you have quite a few videos that gained a few K views here and there, performing really, really well. For those videos in retrospect, so did you actually follow the checklist, you know, did the keyword search?
Yeah.
So what are the secrets about those videos that really made them stand out compared to the rest of your other videos?
Yeah, really good question. You know, there's I wish I could give you like what the secrets were. I'm pretty much consistent the way that I do things. I think there is a factor that we just, I mean, it's not a small factor, it's a big factor. I think there's a big factor on YouTube that you just can't control, right? Like, you know, if for example, I try to get on top of new trending topics in my space. So like LinkedIn events, as soon as LinkedIn events came out, I created a tutorial around it. That just happened to pick up, you know, and then there's videos sometimes that takes months. There's a video right now, one of the most viewed videos. Let me see if I can find it for you guys. But one of the most viewed videos on my channel right now, it was like for the longest time, nobody was caring for it. Nobody's watching it. And then all of a sudden, it just got a bunch of views, you know? And so it sometimes takes 30 days, 60 days, 90 days. It just sometimes takes that so much time. So, and again, maybe your channel at this time is right now not too big. You don't have too many subscribers, but just continue to create videos, because as your channel grows, what I've found, once I got to a certain level with my subscribers, people were finding the newer videos, which also helped get views for the older videos as well. So it's, you know, just really being consistent. Again, going back to being consistent really helps. You know, and again, there's really no big secret sauce or anything. It's just being consistent. The checklist really helps me to kind of be like making sure I do the same thing every single video. Of course, every video I will try to improve something. I will change something. I will, you know, do something with the introduction or something like that. But yeah, that's really my advice there.
I love it. I love it. So do you actually create a content calendar like the one you showed us earlier, like a Trello board? You actually like, how far in advance do you actually plan out your content, or you're just like spontaneous? Like that's kind of how I approach content.
Yeah, no, I try to be right now. If I can be 2 weeks ahead, I'm happy. You know, that I think that's like, I'm like relaxed, you know, if, and that's where the Trello board and stuff really helps. So yeah, I would say if I can get 2 weeks ahead, I'm happy. I know that there's some creators out there that are like, man, like 2 months ahead, you know, yeah. So again, there's so many things we can go deep into it, but like there's batch recording. It's another really good example, really good strategy as well. So yeah, I would say, but me, I'm 2 weeks ahead. Try to stay that way for a while.
Yeah, I love that. I think if you can, and I just feel like if I push myself, I don't know, it's just not how my brain works. And I love I see myself more like an artist. Like I gain inspiration from taking a walk. You know, I will write down my idea on Asana, and then, but it's very hard for me to kind of producing so much content, like 2 months worth of content within like a day or like 2 days. That just like will be very hard for me. But I do agree. I see other content creators, they have 2 months content ahead of time, or some of them even half a year ahead of time. I really admire them. So let's look at more some other specific features on TubeBuddy. So earlier we were looking at a keyword explorer, and then so share with us.
I'll share my screen with you. I'll share my screen with you here. I'll show you around. Yeah, no problem. Give me 1 second.
Share your screen. So, but they do have a free version for people. They can check it out. And I'm only using the basics, and has already been helping me.
All right, there you go. Sharing my screen here. So this is the video that I was actually talking about here. This video you'll see it's like almost 450. It's like over a year old, right? And for the first, I would say, what is this? Almost 250, 275 days, I guess. Very little views, very flat. And then all of a sudden it just started picking up. And so, now it has over 11,000 views and stuff. And it just started and just keeps on growing. Right. This is such an old video.
It's incredible.
So it's a very interesting thing. Like, again, sometimes videos just don't pop off as soon as you upload. Sometimes it takes a little while. So, hopefully that inspires you guys there that don't get down on yourself. If you upload a video and a day, 2 days, 2 weeks, 2 months later, that video is not doing well, just keep on going, continue, look to the next video and improve. So let me show a couple things. You were talking about the Keyword Explorer earlier.
Mm-hmm.
The other tool that we have here is Seo Studio. So if I go to Keyword Explorer, for example, for some reason it's really, my computer is really slow today.
Oh, no worries. I think because we're streaming and everything at the same time.
We're everywhere. No problem. So let's just go to my go-to here, LinkedIn Live tutorial. All right. So let's say that is the keyword that we want to go after. All right, it's coming up. So again, I'm in the weighted tab here. There's weighted and unweighted. And there we go. So it's coming up. Again, this takes into account my channel. My channel has a lot of LinkedIn Live content. So that's why the score is, excellent. It says there. If I go to unweighted, which is just in general on YouTube, this is actually not a very competitive keyword.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm going to see you with 8 LinkedIn Live tutorial videos, I assume. So it's actually a really good keyword. And so now the next step is there's actually a results tab. And here you can kind of see what is ranking. This is actually what you see if you search this term on YouTube. And this is what I talk about, guys. This is a good keyword for me. There's a lot of really good search volume here. It's not super competitive. So I've created multiple videos around different aspects of LinkedIn Live, right? Mm-hmm. How to get LinkedIn Live access, LinkedIn Live guide, LinkedIn Live to events, So again, I really want to just dominate this keyword. And so I've created multiple videos around it. Now this is also very helpful for thumbnails. So this is what people will see. So now if you are going to commit to creating this video for this keyword, you can see what the other thumbnails are going to look like. And you can then think about how you create your thumbnail to stand out from the rest, right? And so, I see a lot of blue and stuff. So, I just trying to create a thumbnail that stands out. I saw Professor Nez, he had this solid background. I'm like, hey, that really stood out. A lot of blues, a lot of reds. So I'm like, let's use yellow. So I created a lot of yellow in my thumbnails. Now, going back to this, the next thing that I would do, and another tool that we have inside of TubeBuddy is called the Seo Studio. So let's say LinkedIn Live tutorial is my keyword. I go to Seo Studio. And this makes the SEO for YouTube really, really easy. And so what happens here is that we took the best practices that YouTube told us about SEO on YouTube, and we made a checklist. So here's the checklist right here. This is a checklist. So as you do the things that the checklist tells you, it turns green. And it also improves your TubeBuddy SEO score here. Okay, so again, it just makes sure checklist, be consistent. And so it tells you all the best practices. And so as I change the title and the description here, it will actually change my SEO score. Okay, and the goal here is to get as close to 100 as possible. And then once you're done, you can save this so that then when you're ready to upload the video, you just apply this package to your video. And then automatically the title, the description, the tags that you researched will just be applied to your new video on YouTube. So again, that just saves you so much time. We also have what's called default uploads here. So basically, let's say I had an eCam tutorial here, right, that I was going to make. Then I can apply all of the links and affiliate links and all the things that I usually have that I want to put. applies it as a template for that video. Yeah.
So much easier. So you don't have to. So I actually create a template on Asana. So what I did was to copy and paste. So I don't really have to do that. It is so powerful to see this, Rob, because I feel like most people, when they upload the video, they just upload the video. You know, it is so remarkable to see that list that you just showed us, you know, you want to check them off before. Like really, I'm fully convinced, you know, how much strategic like planning that this entire process involves, right? It's not like it's too late to start a YouTube channel. If we are willing to do the work, we can still grow like a good channel in 2020. I'm fully convinced. I feel really inspired.
Oh,
so, yeah. So here, I don't know if you can share your screen one more time. Sorry, I should have stopped you. So Anita, thank you for joining us live. And her focus is high performance transformation. So for a term like that, can we also use the platform to do like search, identify, you know, high volume, you know, competitiveness, this and that?
Sure, yeah. Let me share my screen again. 1 second. All right. Here it is. Share screen. And
this is so powerful. You know, I have even the basic tool. I have them there on my YouTube channel. I don't even do it that much. I don't use them that much. So you have inspired me a lot, and everyone.
Oh, that's good.
Live. Yeah. So thank you.
Awesome. Awesome. What was the keyword that Anita was searching?
So she is high performance transformation.
Okay, high performance transformation. And I think Peter had a question there from Tim. The editing tool that I use is Camtasia. High performance
transformation.
Okay. So high performance transformation, it doesn't come up as suggested here. So we're just going to search it. Again, maybe Anita, if you can give us some context on maybe what that space is about, any other sort of like anything around that we can search up. But it looks like unweighted score is, you know, it's got decent search volume. So you guys can see here, decent search volume. The competition is not too high. The optimization is not too high either. So, you know, all things look good there. For weighted, so let's see, weighted. So weighted score, again, this is for my channel. So Anita, you might score differently, but you can tell here, there's actually a really good indicator of a number here, which is this middle one. This is sort of the barrier to entry. This is sort of the minimum number of views on average that you should have that will allow you to start ranking for this keyword. So for this one, it's only 35 views, which is fairly low. So again, all things look good there. Now, if I look at the results, these are the videos that show up. So, you know, how to create a high performance culture, high performance lessons from a billionaire. Again, I think you might want to be more specific. So high performance transformation for entrepreneurs or for authors or coaches, like high performance transformation for, you know, stay-at-home moms, you know, like those are some of the things you might want to look into just to be more specific. But in terms of the keyword itself, it's pretty good. Now, again, this is probably, again, I'm not in the space, but maybe this is exactly what people are searching, but maybe it's not. So you might want to see what other terms, you know, your audience is using when they're searching. You want to look at the results, the other videos. And sometimes that gives you sort of an indication of what other terms or keywords people are searching. So one example is sometimes people will use the word or the term virtual assistant, right? So, you know, 10 ways for virtual assistants to get more clients. But sometimes virtual assistants, they're not using that term. They don't call themselves virtual assistants. Maybe they call themselves freelancers, right? Or creative entrepreneurs. Like, so you have to understand the term and the lingo that your audience is using so that you can know the words that they're searching. So that's like high performance transformation. That's a pretty, like it does well. Like it's a pretty good keyword. The only thing I would probably say is like, you need to be a little bit more specific on what that video is going to be about. right? So what is it about high performance transformation? Again, think about, why would somebody click the title? Like, what is it about this video?
Totally.
8 ways to have, high performance transformation or something like that. So you have to be good. Like, your title has to be good for the algorithms, for the YouTube algorithms, for search, for the robots, but also good for the human. It needs to be compelling as well. So compelling is a very key part for the title.
Well, I love that. What a great walkthrough, Rob. Thank you so much. And what you just mentioned reminds me of my interview with Neil Patel. He is such a master at copywriting. So what I learned from him in terms of writing headlines is that you actually want to show the promise that you are actually delivering. So that's why when I draft titles nowadays, future proof, right? So that you can find a job, so that you can have the confidence. So what is a promise that this piece of content can deliver to the audience? So that's kind of how I approach this, so you can grab your audience. People love to see, when they purchase outcomes, love to see the deliverables. Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah. Oh, thank you. Yeah, definitely. I'm definitely going to check out this feature more to talk more about, gain more ideas, inspirations for creating content. This is so good. And again, they have a free version. Everyone should check it out. Yeah, so totally. And we are just wrapping it up here. What a amazing hour. So I noticed you are the king of live streaming, Rob, right? You go live all the time. So what is your strategy behind, earlier you mentioned collaborating. So are you also trying to leverage the live show to bring more viewers to your channel? So how do you, because most people on YouTube, they upload pre-recorded videos.
Right.
So how do you leverage each to or how do you leverage the live video content to grow your channel? Because that is something I'd love to learn more about myself.
Yeah, absolutely. So everything, me, everything is really centered around community. The live stream stuff is 100% community. So not just community with the audience, with the subscribers, but also community with my peers. So, people like yourself, you join me on my show, other experts, so it's really a way for us to connect with our partners and my peers. That really, again, to be completely honest with you, is just a way to connect with them and also open up opportunities as well for collaborations. A lot of the time, if you're not collaborating yet because you feel like, oh, that's my competition, or, I'm just not ready. Like, the space is so big, right? YouTube is so big, social media is so big. There's so many potential clients out there that, don't be afraid to collaborate, right? And by collaborating, this has worked really well for you. I watch what you're doing. You're getting to talk to Neil Patel and all these big Seth Godin, these big, really experts in our space. And me, little old Rob. So, it's it opens up opportunities, opens up doors. So that's really what the live stream is about. There's no selling. It's not like a webinar or anything. It's just, let's answer your questions. Let's help you. By the way, if TubeBuddy can help you, awesome. If not, then hopefully you learn something about YouTube during our live stream. And that's really it. The other part of it is really, we've built an awesome YouTube channel and community there. And so we want to share that stage with our partners, with our friends, so that they can also help our community learn something that we don't know about, right? So, if our community wants to learn about thumbnails, how do you become really good at making thumbnails? We're not the experts at thumbnails, but we'll find somebody and bring them into and teach our community how to do that. So that's really the point of the live streams. Again, just to build community and bring value to our community.
Yeah, totally. Speaking of thumbnails, and my 8-year-old, he is working on his YouTube channel, and
nice.
I show him, look, I'm interviewing this guy today. I love the thumbnails you created. So I showed yours to him. He's like, yeah, good. So yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Ethan, right? Ethan, right?
Aiden.
Yes. Sorry. I remember hanging out with him. He's like your videographer in VidCon, right?
No problem. Yeah, totally. Yeah, like lots of children, I don't know how many, we don't have any children, but we do have lots of parents watching this.
Yes.
So they can really encourage their own children,
Yes.
And research has shown that students actually prefer to learn by watching YouTube videos compared to, listening to their professors talk.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. I would show you. We'll talk after, but my son, he just recorded his YouTube channel trailer this morning. He's very interested in YouTube, and so very interesting live streaming, video games and things like that.
The
So
same.
it's awesome. It's good to see. It's good to see. That's the world that they're going to be growing up in.
But would you agree with me, Rob? Like oftentimes I'm a teacher. I come from that background. Oftentimes I thought I understood something, but until I actually started teaching this, I was like, oh my God, I actually didn't understand that part. So teaching is a great way, creating content, educating others is a great way to test our own knowledge about something, right?
Oh, totally. Totally. Yeah. The more that I started doing tutorials, the better. Like you have to learn first before you teach it. And so it really forced me to learn. And it's not just learning it. It's like one thing is to be able to do it, but then the next part is like to be able to explain it in a simple way. I think that's the hardest part, is to make something complicated simple, right? So that you can make something complicated and explain it to a 10-year-old.
I love that.
Yeah.
So talk about which, is there an ideal length for YouTube videos, or like is it like on different social media channels there is like 3 minutes, 5 minutes, 1 minute? So is that even like a benchmark to think about for YouTube videos, or you only look at the quality?
No. I don't think there's an exact maximum or length or anything. There's no magic number. I think the bigger question is how long can you hold someone's attention for in your video, and also like how long can you get them to watch your video? Obviously the longer the better, but sometimes there's also things that you don't like. If you can explain something in 5 minutes, don't try to make it like longer, like 10 minutes, just so that it's a longer video. So don't do that. So just if you can deliver something in 5 minutes, then do it in 5 minutes. 3 minutes, great. 3-minute video, that's fine. They'll add up, right? All those watch time will add up. I think more importantly, as far as like, there's no maximum, but I think there's a minimum for me anyway. Like I think 2 minutes or less, I don't see too often in my space.
Yeah.
3, 4, 5 minutes, maybe sort of at the minimum to explain something properly. But yeah, like, people, most YouTube viewers, in general, their behaviors, like they're ready to watch multiple videos, and so it's okay to have a longer video on YouTube.
Yeah, that's such a great point. It is so different from, on Facebook. You are on Facebook just like, checking it out. You don't have the intention to even watch a 3-minute video, right? It feels way too long. But when you go to YouTube, you have that intention. Yeah. What a great conversation. I know I can just chat with you forever, my friend. So share with us, where can people learn more about you? I have been sharing your LinkedIn, and we showed you YouTube channel earlier. So, but do remind people again where they can learn more about you and from you.
Yeah, anywhere, really. Copy and paste my name. Let's connect on LinkedIn. Copy and paste my name on YouTube. You'll find my YouTube channel. And then anywhere behind the TubeBuddy YouTube channel, Facebook, Instagram. I'm behind there as well. So with the rest of the team. So yeah, just message me there. I love getting messages, questions, send them over. And every Friday on my personal channel, I do a live stream, 7 a.m. Pacific, so 10 Eastern, and just answering your questions. So if you have any questions that I can help you with, feel free to drop by and say hello.
Yeah, so you actually go live on YouTube, right? Only on YouTube or multi-streaming?
On Fridays, the subscriber community chat is just on YouTube.
Just on YouTube. Yeah, I love that strategy. You can actually stay focused. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Thank you so much, my friend. And I'm really honored to have you on the show. And thank you so much, everyone, for joining us live from all over the globe. And I hope to see you guys again next Wednesday or Thursday for some of you. Same time, same location. And thank you so much to Peter for monitoring people's comments and sharing links. I appreciate you and everyone. And thank you so much, Rob.
Bye.
And see you guys next week.